Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Um, this is just for today. I'm Lisa Kaye with Promise Resource Network. This is a early. If you've never been on before, this is an early morning offering. It's conversation that I bring on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 6:30. Um, just for today is a slogan in the rooms that AA, NA, and Al-Anon that we use as a way to keep us present. Good morning, Darlene. Good to see you. Let me know you're out there. But just for today, can we see something, hear something, experience something, whether it's through me or through somebody on the chat that sounds like, yeah, I might can consider working on that or adding that to my recovery routine, whatever that may look like for you. And the slogan simply just reminds us that we don't have to adopt something for a lifetime. Those of us on diets, it's hard to, I can't really wrap my head around that. I will never, ever, ever eat sugar again. Like I'll never have, a piece of pie or things of that nature, but for today or for a short period of time, I can try to get it under control, right? So that's what just for today is. You don't have to take something and just add it and force it into your life and accept it for the rest of your life, but just for today, right? So we're going to talk about something today that just keeps driving home for me, whether it's through my own personal life or others that are around me. And this phrase keeps coming up. And I decided to um, dig in a little deeper. That's what we do in recovery. After we've been there a while, we need to dig in, learn something different. We graduate, go to middle school of recovery or senior high school, wherever you may be in your recovery walk. I hope these offerings will just encourage you to dig deeper, challenge yourself. So we're going to talk about control freaks. I don't know how many of you are out there that have actually said, yeah, I'm a control freak, or someone said, you're a control freak. Good morning, Aaron. Good morning, Ben. But we're going to talk about that a little bit because before recovery, back in the day, I thought I used that phrase as like I was complimenting myself. I said, yeah, I'm a control freak, like that meant something positive. Um, and I said it with much power and enthusiasm. Now that I'm in recovery and learning about control, that we really don't control nothing or much of nothing, I often go back and just reflect on how much turmoil my life was in and how miserable I was because I really thought this control thing was something that, meant that I was smart, I was strong, and all those things. But it really meant the opposite. It meant that I was fearful. I had anxiety. I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust others. And I just shake my head now and go, wow, no wonder I made some poor decisions. No wonder I felt less than, even though I tried to act like I didn't, right? So didn't live that genuine life. So I don't know about you this morning, but we're going to talk about that a minute about control freaks. And if you might not be 100%, but we all got a little bit of control freak in us. And this morning, I want to challenge you. So if you ever thought that this was a good thing, it's not. It quite means the opposite. And we're going to talk about that too. So let me know you're out there. Glad you're here this morning. Please share this on your social media if you feel led to. If there's something here that you feel like your friends and family, or maybe your recovery group could benefit from, put it out there. And we do appreciate it. We love to see people from all over the United States. We can see that who watch our videos, who come on and comment. We can see what parts of the world that they're from. We actually have people outside our country that every month we see that they have viewed our classes and even shared our classes. So that just wows all of us at PRN how much we have expanded our recovery message and our platform to share our hope in our lived experience in a peer support way, right? Not as a counselor or therapist, but as someone who walked the walk, right? And so share it if you feel led to. Good morning, Miss Deidre, calling us beautiful. Miss Deidre always faithfully calls us beautiful at 6:30 in the morning, and I love her that. Courtney's on. Good morning, Miss Courtney. Christopher, one of my champion, my badasses incorporated, is in the house. Such a life that Chris has. Love his spunk. Love it. Miss Kim Porter's in the house, telling everybody good morning. And Chris reminding that God is good, right? Whoever your higher power is, however you relate to that, we claim this morning, put it out in the universe that's the ultimate control, entity in our life that we want to be guided by, right? So control freaks out there, listen up. It's not a good character trait. Lisa thought it was for many years and hung my hat on and actually proudly boasted about being a control freak. But what I realized in my recovery, that it was a sign that I was fearful. I had no trust. My self-esteem was low. And I could not walk in what I thought I was walking in confidence was quite the opposite. I was very scared, very intimidated. Now I can see that. And now I can go, wow, no wonder, right? No wonder I made some of the decisions, the why behind the what. But today I'm going to challenge you this morning, because some of you in recovery, some of you, what we call old heads in recovery, we think we got it right. Like, nah, I give all my control to my higher power. Well, I'm going to challenge you this morning, because I bet we're going to hit some points this morning about some characteristics of a control freak that you might have not thought about, and you might be tiptoeing around and not 100%. So I'm going to challenge you this morning. The more that we can give up control that don't belong to us, the better we walk in our recovery, and the more people want what they see in us, and that's a better life, right? And so listen up, guys. I want to share with you from my reading first, and then I'm going to share with you what I discovered in my search for some ideas around this control freak idea that kind of put a mirror up in front of me, and I hope will put a mirror up in front of you so you can look at your reflection, because that's the only one you ought to be looking at anyway, right? Got it. All right. So grab your coffee, your hot chocolate, your tea, your pillow. That's probably Courtney grabbing her pillow. I know Erin's getting ready for work. Deidre probably too. I know Kim Porter's getting ready for work. But whatever you're doing, embrace it. Listen up. Open your minds and hearts, and just consider, even if it's just for today, that you got some work to do, that you might have a little control freak up in you. All right? Here we go. So many of us learn the value of self-expression in our recovery walk. We discover how we feel and benefit from giving voice to those feelings when it seems appropriate. But there's a difference between expressing ourselves and using words to control others. Sometimes the only way I can determine whether I'm trying to control someone else or whether I'm simply expressing my feelings is by noticing how many times I say the same thing. There's a measuring stick right there. Pretty simple, right? If I mention something that is on my mind and then let it go, no matter what response I get, I am speaking sincerely. If I repeatedly make similar suggestions or ask prodding questions again and again and again and again, I am probably trying to control. If I am satisfied only when the other person responds in a way I consider desirable, agrees with what I've said, or takes my advice, then I know I've lost my focus. So just for today, I am learning to be honest with myself. I will not use my recovery. Here we go, guys. I will not use my recovery as an excuse to justify my efforts to change other people's thinking. Hear that, my recovery family. Hear that. The field that I work in peer support, that's one of the major signs when I have a peer support specialist sit in front of me and they share their anxiety and their frustrations around the people that they are trying to love on and support. It's very clear to me, but we can lose our focus because we get the idea that we save people, that we control people. If I just say it one more time, they'll get it. They'll do what I need them to do because I know what's best for them. Listen to me, people. You don't. That's a lie. And the more we dig in and have those behaviors, the more we push people away. Um, Controlling behaviors are not attractive. They're not sexy. So think about that a minute. They're not. People are not attracted to that. They're actually afraid, right? They don't know what to do with that. It's confusion. Always when people are trying to be controlling, there's an element of confusion and chaos. That's when you need to turn around and head the other way, right? So hear that if you hear nothing else. Trying to control other people only gets me in trouble. Instead, I will promptly admit such mistakes and put my energy back where it belongs by focusing on who? Myself. So just for today, we should have much peace if we would not busy ourselves with the sayings and doings of others. Just for today. All right, control freaks. I am going to share with you some other measuring sticks for you. Some of these you've heard of. Some of these you maybe not, or maybe you thought you had this one till we kind of, as my best friend says, chop it up, and then you go, "Wow, I never thought it like that." We all have room to improve. We never completely arrive, right? So if you think you've got your control under wrap, I challenge you this morning to open your minds and hearts to see where there are places that you need to tune up a little bit, and realize that you may have a little bit more control freak within your recovery work than you thought you did, right? I know as I dug in deep, I found areas that I went, wow, okay, I got you, because I want to get better. I want to get better and better and better. And that area of control is an area, it's a biggie for me. I'm on the family side of addiction, but I also have the disease of codependency. My child is my drug, and very codependent. And so this control issue as a mother of a child who for almost 20 years has struggled with substance use and mental health, control was what I thought I had and was going to pave the way. And it was hard for me to unlearn, right? It was hard for me to learn that all the efforts and control I was doing around my child really was screaming that I was so afraid I was going to lose him. I was so worried. And I was trying to play God, right? Because how could I live my life without this special being in my life, right? So my whole world was wrapped around eat, breathe, dream, sleep, no matter what. This child was on my mind. Every step I took was a backdrop around what he was doing or what he needed, whether he was in recovery or out of recovery. Very much out of control, but very much thought I was in control, right? So today I'm just asking, let's just consider. So let's dig in. Let me know what you're thinking. Good morning, Miss Sharon. So glad to see you on this morning. Hope you're doing well. Let me know you're out there or not. It doesn't matter. Share this if you feel led to or not. But I'm just glad you're here, or if you're watching later, I love that too. You can still comment even after you watch it, after it's up on our video stream and it's not live anymore. You can still comment and I'll see that. So here we go. So I've made some notes around this, so I don't want to miss anything. So in my own working on my recovery, I dealt with depression and anxiety and stress related with the disease of addiction, my own mental health, and some severe traumas in my life. I spent a lot of time focusing on things I couldn't control, right? I worried about what other people thought. I really wasted a lot of time, thinking the worst, right? I stayed busy, but I never ever felt effective. I never went to bed at night feeling like, man, this was a day. This was a day, right? Good morning, Stephanie. Good to see you on. Happy Wednesday to you too. I worried about what other people thought. most of the time, and I'm really watching their behaviors and what they did. I was putting energy into the wrong places. Wow, if I could just have that time back, guys, if I could just have that time back, but I can't. All I can do is lessons learned, get that wisdom and move forward. Rather than controlling my emotions, which I should have been working on, I tried to control the environment. So I came across this article I was reading. There's a lot of stuff out there about being control freaks. It's quite a common term out there, and it has been for years, and we jokingly say, yeah, I'm a control freak, or yeah, she's a control freak, and we laugh about it and sometimes take pride in it. And that's okay to joke about, but it is serious to actually be a control freak. It really robs you of many moments and hours and years from your life, living a life that in fear and being in places you ought not be instead of being where you need to be. So I came across this article in my work, and it challenged me that I might still have a little bit of control freak in me. As much as I have worked on my own recovery around control, this challenged me a little bit. So just about in every area, I see some things I need to do. So here's some things I want to bring to your attention. So let me know what you think about it. So I'll bring them up here. So one of the first things that it challenged us in is, are you a team player? Well, most people I know, people at work, when I'm interviewing people, I ask them if they're a team player, and they go, yeah, I played sports and I know what it's like to be on a team, right? But do you really? Do you really? Joining a team means you have to give up some control, right? After all, you can't, win a baseball game by yourself. Somebody had to get the other outs, right? You can't win a football game by yourself. You can't, any team sport, it's just not a one person thing. Somebody might be the leader, but it takes the whole team to get you there, right? So really what happens on a team, you're really only responsible for about 10% of the outcome. Some of our superstars, or maybe you've got a talent and skill at work on a certain team you're on, that maybe you have a little bit more control, but you don't have 100%. So many control freaks prefer to be a lone wolf over a team player, right? They'll quit the team. They'll resign from the committee. When things don't when they feel like that they're not in control of the team or the group, they will make an excuse to bow out, or they will spend a lot of time in the team meetings or in the game causing diversions, causing issues or problems. They want to dictate or analyze everybody's behavior or talents on the team, right? So think about it a minute. Are you a team player? When you go into a team player, are you as a team player, are you open-minded? Or are you going in to see if you can get the most percentage of the control, right? How many times have you quit a team? How many times have you stepped out of a committee or whatever at work because, they didn't hear you, that things didn't go your way? Think about it. Put this up as a measuring stick. We all can use some improvement in all these areas. All right. So are you a team player? The second thing is I am 100% responsible for my success. It is, if it's going to be, it's up to me. How many times have we said that? So control freaks believe with enough effort and skill, they can accomplish anything. They don't believe in timing or luck. Have you ever heard, what's luck got to do with it? Right? We've heard people say that. They often say things like, failure isn't an option, and they are overly critical of themselves when things don't go as planned, right? You believe you're 100% responsible for your success, right? You are going to control everything. And we understand that your success, there's so many outliers out there, right? Yeah, you're responsible for your effort, right? But you can't control every single thing that is going to have to line up for you to be successful, right? So think about that. Are you one of those folks that really believe that you can stop the universe? You can stop traffic. You can cause things to happen or not happen because you are 100% responsible for your success. Think about it. You might say no right now, but if you'll think about some of your behaviors, I know I had to, recent behaviors that said to me, now you got a little bit of work to do there. There's a little bit, on the control freak barometer, you're not at zero here, Lisa. You're up there a little bit, right? So every one of these I saw on my barometer work that needed to be done. The third thing to kind of think about, I can convince people to change. Just watch me and learn. Most control freaks believe they know what is best for everyone. We know that person. Maybe you are that person. Maybe it's not everybody, but maybe you feel like you know what's best for everybody you support at work. Or you know what's best because you're the supervisor. Or you know what's best because you're the mama. Or you're the wife or the husband or the whatever. Might not just be everybody, but it might be a group of people that you really feel that you know what's best for every single person in that group, in that family, or on your job, right? And you try to convince other people to do things differently, whether they lecture, you can become aggressive or do manipulative things behind the scenes. You're going to make things your way. You're going to convince people to change. You will even be willing to tell a little white lie, right? You will manipulate to the point where having them think your way and convince them to change is all you're focused on, right? And you will go to whatever degree to do that. Maybe you're not quite out there like that, but think about it a minute, right? How many times, just like our reading just said, do you say things over and over and over to someone when they have expressed a difference of opinion, right? Think about it. How many times do you do that? Are you a person that states your belief or your ideas, and it is what it is? That's what I believe. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to contribute. Somebody has a different opinion. Are you able to go, okay, I hear you. Okay, well, you do your thing. I'm going to go over here and do mine. We can ask a question if we're confused a little bit about their whatever the opposite of their feelings, just so we better understand. But how many times do you keep going over the same things over and over to convince somebody to see it your way? There's a good measuring stick. Meaningful relationships. What in the world is that? You could definitely look into my life story and see that I definitely had control issues. I'm on, third marriage, and made a lot of mistakes around the way, so I'm not the best one to give advice about long-term relationships or meaningful relationships. Whether it was a friend or a boyfriend or a husband, I seem to always mess that up, right? I seem to always mess that up. And one of the things that the article says is no one says, you know what I like about her? She's a control freak. Really, control freaks are not attractive. They're not. They're not sexy. They really push people away. And when people are so controlling in a relationship, usually the consequences that they, experience, they struggle to maintain that healthy personal and professional relationship. So we can even have this in our job, right? Right? Not trying to control, being that micromanager if you're a supervisor, or you're on a team of people and you are going to control every little bit. Not only is the team going to want to out you, but some of those meaningful relationships, even if they're professional, start, going away, and they don't feel the same. So meaningful relationships. Can you think about that a minute? Think about not only your personal, but you're professional. Do you continue to do things to sabotage relationships because you've got to control the relationship, period, right? Maybe it's subtle. Maybe it's a little quiet. Maybe you're not loud about it. Something to think about. I have supernatural powers. You're that person that spends a lot of energy trying to prevent bad things from happening rather than preparing for the storm. A control freak will try to prevent the storm from ever coming, even when they can't. They don't waste much time and energy hoping bad things won't happen because they doubt their ability to deal with the hardship. Yeah, they can't embrace a storm and see opportunity. They really have the fear and the doubt that they will not be able to overcome this. And at every point, they will try to control superwoman powers, things that are completely out of their control, obviously out of their control, humanly out of their control. They are going to do everything they can because all of a sudden they have an S on their chest and they know what's best. But behind all that is such great fear, such great fear. So think about that again this morning, just for today. Do you think you have supernatural powers? Are you Wonder Woman? Are you Superman in your recovery walk? Or at every turn, are you trying to block things from happening when they are obviously completely out of control, instead of embracing yourself, putting your support systems around you, being a support system to embrace the storm, knowing that this will pass? And there's lessons learned in every storm, right? Okay. If I want it done right, I better do it myself. How many times have we said that, guys? Yeah, this is one that I really had to dig in deep and know that I've got a lot of work to do with this one. And so my barometer, my control freak barometer is a lot higher with this one, right? Because of this mindset. And so I don't delegate like I should. And, so there's been many years that I thought there were certain things that if I wanted it done right, I better do it myself. I would not delegate it to anybody. If I did, it would require more of my time because they would mess it up or wouldn't understand. I'd have to waste my time explaining the hows and whats and whens around it. And then if they mess it up, then I'd have to backtrack and fix everything they messed up. And then if I did delegate something, I micromanaged every step of the way, right? So I bet a lot of you are probably going, yeah, that's probably one I can probably need to work on. So where are you with that one, right? Here's the final one. There are no excuses, period. So it doesn't matter. You have no compassion for people that make mistakes. And people who are control freaks will see a mistake as they're lazy. They didn't put the energy in it. They didn't plan for it. Doesn't matter the circumstances. There is no excuse. They don't take in consideration that this person just had a significant loss in their life, or a big transition, or they're going through something personal in their family or a health issue. For a control freak, it's no excuse. You signed up for this, you better get it done. There's no compassion around mistakes. You're 100%, right? And if you're not 100%, why bother to show up, right? Why bother to even try to contribute to the team or to the cause if you can't give 100% and put all your worries or whatever you're going through on the back shelf because there's no room for that here, right? So no compassion. And you might say, no, that's not me. But I bet if you dig a minute, there could be some areas in your life, right? Certain things in your life that you may have this attitude about. Might not be your overall attitude about everything, but I bet you if you dug, you would find that thing that you will not accept excuses around, no matter what. Your compassion barometer goes to 0, and your judgmental control freak self goes to 100. Just for today, can you consider that your control freak barometer needs a little work? So we name some things that could make us think we got some work to do here. Are you a control freak? Let's see what you got to say about that before we wrap this thing up. Aaron Wells is on saying, just for today. Aaron says, best practice be in partnership with the universe and let the universe lead the dance. Absolutely. Crisis creates opportunities. Don't fear the storm. Ride the waves they create. Excuses are reasons misunderstood. Absolutely. So just for today, guys, are you a control freak? I don't know. When I first started looking at this, I said, oh, I think I'm over that. I definitely could see where I had been a control freak back in the day before I found recovery. But now I think I had it. But when I dove in, I saw very quickly that most of these, I still got work to do. Now on Friday, we're running out of time now, but on Friday, it'll be the part 2. So if you recognize some of these things, or even one of these things that is a scale for you, a measuring stick for you that you went, wow, yeah, I don't know if I am a team player now that I think about it. And yeah, I do walk around thinking that I am 100% responsible for my success. And yeah, I think sometimes I can convince people to change no matter what. No matter how many times I have to revisit it with them, I'm going to make them see it my way. Are you a person that says, I don't even know I can't even spell meaningful relationship, much less know what it is? Are you walking around with a cape and an S on your chest for Superman or Superwoman, right? Do you think you have supernatural powers and that you can make things stop on a dime in the universe no matter what? And like Aaron said, but are you willing to dance with the universe? Put it out there. If I want it done right, I better do it myself. Does this resonate with you a little bit? There are no excuses, period. There's no compassion, right? Are there areas of your life that you just refuse to have any compassion around mistakes? Not to even consider what someone could even be going through. In recovery, we have to put a mirror up in front of us. And we talk about giving up control and giving it to our higher power. I just brought to you some things that if you'll look deep in those, go back and rewatch this. If you're driving and can't, or getting ready for work, or you got to run, hope you'll go back and watch this and really look at the points, jot them down. There's work to do, right? We never arrive. And on Friday, we're going to talk a little bit about not only what's behind all of this, so it'll be part 2, but we're also going to say, well, what the heck do we do about it? Well, there's 3 things that I discovered in my working with this. It was 3 pretty simple things that I thought, I could do that. Even if it was just for today, I could do that to try to stop control issues, even if it's just for today, right? So, control freaks, I know you're out there. Some of you that are on this chat this morning, yeah, we all have to look at our reflection, and we claim we're going to give things to our higher power, but do you? Does your action speak it? Does your thinking speak it? So hopefully you can go back, look at each one of these points to see if all it does is just for today, let you know that you still got a little control freak in you. You got some recovery work to do. Then that was my point. That was my point. So if you're one of those like I was, got a lot of work to do, I challenge you to do the work. Come back on Friday, 6:30, and we're going to talk a little bit about, there's no shame in this. There's actually reasons why that you could have some grace around, and I want to bring that to you. I don't want you to beat yourself up. The first person you need to have grace and love around is yourself. And we're going to talk about that, as well as what are some very simple things we can do to put ourselves in check about being a control freak, right? Because control freak is not sexy, and it's not attractive, and it's quite the opposite. So just for today, can you consider how much percent control freak you got going on in your game today in recovery? So, all right, let's see what you got to say, and we're going to say goodbye. Got to go do my thing today. Courtney says, I'm dancing in rain. Yes, you are, Courtney. Aaron's P says, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your experience. I appreciate this message. You're welcome. Darlene says, great topic. Stephanie says, thank you. And you guys are chatting it up with each other, and I love that. But guys, just for today, can you consider, are you a control freak? Are you not? Well, hate to tell you, but all of us got a little bit of control freak in us. So I hope you'll work on that. I hope you'll come back on Friday. If you can't, go back and watch it for the hope, for the grace and the hope and the resilience through this, because we can recover from being control freaks and we can get better in these areas of our life, because I surely want people to want my recovery. They want to see, they'll see something in me that can help them in their steps in life, whether I realize it or not. I don't need to know about what they see, but I really do want to work in areas that can let go of the control, quit speaking about it and be about it. And so today should have challenged a lot of you to think about that in your walk in recovery. Are you demonstrating that you have given up your control in most areas, and that you're allowing your higher power to lead you in your recovery? Or are you controlling everything at every turn? So it's a challenge just for today, this morning. Are you a control freak? Guys, have a great Wednesday, and I hope you'll come back on Friday for the second part of this that can give us some hope around it. So stay tuned, and you guys have a great day, and see you soon. Love you guys. Bye.